boy, we got an interesting one here by Daddy Techimus himself. Where does he put himself? Puts himself all here. Oh, this is a fucking Ethan Klein. It's a legal mindset video. Let's fucking go. Let's get into both of it. Terrorists are suing Ethan Klein. Oh boy, why? Why? They're trying to countersue now for some reason.
Beef just
Like
dropped.
shit.
We have Ethan Klein versus a literal fucking terrorist. Man, what is
Bruh.
2025? What is the internet that Hassan has created?
Okay.
This is
It's
crazy.
a wild internet, dude.
We got
I mean, bro, you can literally, Hassan gives me cancer. Hassan gives everyone cancer, dude. And it's funny how his orbiters will literally come into my fucking channel and be like, "You're a dumbass. You're garbage VTuber. You're an idiot. Seeth Harden." It's like, bro, I ain't got time for you. Get the fuck out of here. Like, dude. Hassan should quite literally not have a fucking platform. And it's insane to me that fucking the man, the myth, the legend, Johnny Sins, fucking Twitch grade Johnny Sins over here, Daddy Techimus, gets a 2-week fucking ban for calling Frogan fat, while fucking Mike from PA can say that the Jewish race is a demonic ethnicity, and he'll only get a 1 week. It's fucking wild to me. How is it allowed to? He has made death threats. Yeah, because they're biased. Because they're biased as fuck, and they don't actually upload anything to YouTube, to my knowledge. That's why. Twitch is very fucking biased, and you can see it based on what they do. Like, bro, they quite literally banned fucking Tectone for 2 weeks for calling Frogan fat. They banned Tectone for 2 weeks for calling an OnlyFans whore Denim a whore because she does OnlyFans. And they banned him again because he said, he didn't even call her a whore this time. He said if she doesn't want to be called a whore, she probably shouldn't be doing OnlyFans. And they banned him again. And their excuse was, oh, it's the weekend. We can't unban you. Our team is not in the office for the unbans. Like, it's a fucking joke, dude. Twitch is such a joke. Osama bin Laden versus Hasbin.
I'm sure the next beef will be Jesus Christ versus Hassanabi.
Probably.
Hot Houthi pirate dubbed Timothy Chalamet.
Oh
is
boy.
Thinking about suing Ethan Klein. That's right, suing him
for
calling
what?
Him a terrorist. We're gonna get into that today on the Legal Mindset. We teach you.
Hasn't he actually said that he's a terrorist? How is he gonna sue him if it's his own words? You know? Like, bro, technically she's a hooker, not a whore. Well, I mean, to be a hooker, it means she'd be getting dicked down by the clients, and she's not, so, you know.
To be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney,
Okay.
and it's a fast facts premiere. Give me the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. And I do apologize. I've been a little bit absent. This is my birthday weekend, so I'm quite enjoying it.
Hey, happy birthday!
One for
Good for you, man.
guys tonight.
Let's
So
go.
handsome.
Some of you may or
Oh,
may
what a
not
Giga
know
Chad,
who
dude.
this guy is, who Tim Houthi is. Of course,
Okay.
that's slang for this guy. This guy goes online by the name Rasheed AlHad, aka Tim Houthi Chalamet for his resemblance, obviously, to Timothy Chalamet from the movie Dune. And
Oh
he
my
became
God, dude.
famous for really getting circulated in social media as the quote-unquote hot Houthi pirate.
Wow.
Bruh.
Or being brought on stream with one
A terrorist with style. A
Yeah.
terrorist with a killer smile.
Hassan.
A terrorist that can dress real nice. It's
Very
so
innovative.
stupid.
Almost no ramifications at all from Twitch. And this was quite a controversy
there's
and
no
kind of blew
fucking-
him up on social media. Gave
Of
him
course. Why would Twitch ever do anything about people like that? Why would they ever do anything about, you know, people actually supporting actual terrorism? Hot, he looks like a boy. Yeah, it's... Dude got a baby face for sure, man.
kind of a micro influencer status. Well, of course, as with all people, your 15 seconds of, you know, whether it's fame or shame runs out eventually.
Yep.
At some
Bro.
point, that moment goes away. And his moment was, well, the moment when he was caught on the boat, and he was there, you know, getting a picture on the boat, and that was his moment of fame, and also going on with Hassan. So now he's attempting to kick up a lawsuit. So here he goes here. Rasheed AlHad says, why did Ethan Klein say that I am a terrorist even though I am not? I am a Yemeni citizen. By the way, weapons in Yemen are just like phones.
That's a wild
really
statement. Yeah.
For someone to say that weapons are as common as phones.
Bro, not even here in America are weapons that common. Like, dude, that is genuinely insane to state. Like, you're saying you can quite literally go to like a liquor store and buy a gun, no check, nothing? That is indeed fucking terrifying and wild as shit. That's what I'm getting from this. It's like, what?
That is wild, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Dude. That's a little bit crazy, bro. That's a little bit insane.
Anyone can own
Yeah,
it.
it's
I want
fucking
to file a lawsuit against
all the
Ethan Klein.
shit.
So we're going to examine this. Does he have a case? Does he not have a case?
He's probably doesn't have a
Especially
case.
in U.S. courts, because I'm going to assume.
Yo, guys, you get the new iPhone AK-47? No. I got the Samsung Tommy gun. Oh, okay. Great. Very cool.
I got the fucking Metro Uzi down at the local liquor store as a burner. You can go to the Harbor Freight and get a massive knife where I live. You sleep with a dagger near your bed. I mean, that's actually good, you know, to like be able to like. But in my opinion, there's a difference between a knife and a gun. Because a gun, you can use that at range. For a knife, you quite literally have to get up and close and personal for that stuff. And even then, it's like, I'm sure there's like, you still need to give like ID and they have to scan your ID, I'm pretty sure, for that shit. I think that's what I had to do when I bought my knives.
Can that charge the
Like, I have a
USB-C?
karambit
No,
and I have
need
another
the
knife
lightning
over here.
charger. Oh, okay. Damn these corporations.
Here that he'd be suing Ethan Klein in a U.S. court.
Look, dude,
now, we're going to talk
it's
about
fucking
Yemen
wild,
as well.
man.
At the end, of course, I'm not a Yemeni lawyer, but I can tell you exactly about the enforceability of Yemeni law in the United States. Spoiler alert, not good.
It's not
so
good. It's
we're gonna get into
non-existent.
with the
I can guarantee it's like the UK trying to enforce their censorship laws in the US. Non-existent because we have different laws and we regard freedom of speech very differently. Although our fucking own government is currently trying to push their own censorship shit, which is pretty fucking wild in my opinion. Oh shit, that's not what I'm gonna do.
So the first thing you're going to look at is what would be suing for? Well, defamation. And a lot of people on the internet do call other people a terrorist. Now, that is not a word in and of itself per se, that is automatically defamatory. It's not one of those words where it would necessarily yet 100% say this is going to go into the camp of defamation.
Okay.
There are certain
I don't
words
believe that
you
either.
can say.
My dad gave me it before all the BS laws. I'm not telling anyone about my dagger openly, but I've had some crackheads try to break in above my bed. Yeah, then yeah, for like self-defense reasons, yeah, I can obviously understand why you would have it, you know? Because, like, you should obviously defend yourself in your own home, realistically. Like, it's wild that people think, yeah, you shouldn't, and you should just let people fucking come in and have their way in your property. And they'll defend those actions, and then they'll criticize you for defending yourself. Because they're very defensive towards change. Yeah, I can believe that, dude. Like, animals will also instinctively try to be defensive and whatnot against threats and danger.
Or call people
It's
that
fucking
are
natural.
more defamatory than others.
That's
And there's
interesting.
certain words you can call people that are really not defamatory. If you call people, you know, certain derogatory terms that are just vulgar and they're purely vulgar but not criminal, they tend to not be defamatory.
Okay.
However, if you're calling someone a criminal, and a terrorist is typically a criminal,
Yep.
that is something that leans on the side of defamatory. So
Okay,
that's
makes
what I
sense.
look at with the analysis. Is
Yep.
a
So if you
statement
call somebody ugly, it
defamatory
doesn't
or not?
matter. If you
Is
call
it
someone a
Yeah.
rapist,
implicating
it's
someone
charged
as
or
a
it's grounds for a
criminal?
lawsuit.
When
Makes
it does,
sense.
it tends to be more
Yep.
defamatory than not.
Makes
So
sense.
that's
Does
where
make
that statement
sense.
generally lands. And there's a lot of people on the internet that are called this day to day. Now,
Yeah, I mean, you have other people calling other people a whole bunch of other wild shit, and it's like, bro, some of the things you can get away with is pretty fucking insane. Like, dude, like, you could call people, like, slurs and shit, and realistically, they're just vulgar slurs at the end of the day. Like, shit, if someone calls me a fucking wetback, I'm not gonna give two shits either way, you know? I don't fucking care. Someone calls me a fucking mixed race nigger, I'm also not gonna give two shits. It's like, bro, who the fuck is you? I genuinely don't care. Like, sticks and stones, dog. Like, I learned that shit in fucking middle school. So, who gives a fuck? But, like, with something like this, it kind of could maybe possibly lead somewhere.
Why is this
You,
difficult?
you are a
Well, the
taco man.
standard under New York Times versus Sullivan is
Yeah.
malicious because this guy is undoubtedly a public
Bro,
figure.
you
He
can
puts
call me
himself
that.
out there on
Tacos
social
are
media.
bomb.
He's very active on social media. He went on a top streamers, stream. So he is a public figure. He's not a private person. So he would be examined under New York Times versus Sullivan standard. So there would need to be
All right.
malice. So what he says would need to be maliciously untrue.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is, based on photos like these photos, where we see Tim Houthi here posing, or Mr. Rasheed posting with the stolen ship. This is a hijacked ship. They confirm hijacked ship. He actually goes closer to the ship in another video. But you can.
So he himself is giving the evidence where the courts would quite literally throw this out because they'd see these images and potentially see other images on his social media and be like, yeah, no, you actually do fall under the category of terrorist based on your social media posts. Yeah, we're not gonna continue with this.
See it here. He's also posing in what looks like military attire with an AK over here. So looking at this, it gives you a reasonable belief. Looking at this, a reasonable person, a regular person, a normie, a total normie who knows nothing about this, says, wow, this guy could be a terrorist.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I would need more information. And your duty under...
Is this guy not just actually a Houthi pirate? Like, is that not enough grounds to be considered a terrorist? I'm so confused why this is even a talking point.
I'm pretty sure it is, not gonna lie. And like I said, they might just, like, the courts might not even push this whatsoever. Because based off of the evidence, he looks like he could hit a woman, but cower near a real man. True. I mean, that's how these people do tend to be. Like, they tend to be internet tough guys and whatnot, but the moment they actually get confronted IRL, they immediately lose their shit. A perfect example of this is quite literally Johnny Somali. That dude pretends to be an internet tough guy and a fucking nuisance streamer, and the moment he actually got confronted for everything, all of a sudden he fucking starts walking away and starts cowering and whatnot. It's so stupid. Twig arms, yeah. It could also just be
all the information.
Like, are we just pretending that he was just touring a hijacked ship? Yeah, I highly fucking doubt that.
Yeah,
but
there's no way in hell,
information
dude.
Out there, the information you can look at, the information you can.
He's just like, I was just vacationing near the shore and I saw this neat little ship, so I just took a picture with it. Yeah, no, I totally didn't know what was going on there whatsoever.
That's readily available, right? You're going to look at that information. Is it malicious to say this guy could...
No, so Johnny Somali still isn't in prison yet. They're still, they pushed the trial back for, I believe, this month. So I think this month he's going to go back to court. But no, in terms of there being a verdict already, there has not been a verdict yet.
Be a terrorist. It's possible he could be a terrorist. I think a reasonable person could say that. However, it is possible that he is not legally...
This fucking comment here by Jerome Warren. Leave Luffy alone, clown face and laughing. Bro, that's vile.
Defined as a terrorist, i.e. he is not personally a member of a group that is deemed a terrorist, right? He's probably trying
to make that argument. The Houthis are literally a U.S. government designated terrorist organization.
Klein is criticizing me for Yemeni. Okay, maybe that.
If he identifies with the Houthi pirates and they're actually designated as a terrorist organization, he does look like Luffy. He looks like the actor who plays Luffy in the live action adaptation. That's what we're gonna say, okay? But yeah, like, if he identifies with the Houthi pirates and since Tectone already stated they're an actual terrorist organization as viewed by the American government and classified as such by the American government, then he has no grounds for the lawsuit because as Legal Mindset stated, there needs to be malicious intent, and Ethan isn't actually doing anything to maliciously. He's just stating the facts. He is indeed a terrorist as designated by the American government because he associates with the Houthi pirates. So the courts are going to look at that and they're just going to say, you're a dumbass, get the fuck out of here, stop wasting our time.
maybe that might even be a fair argument.
Obviously, they won't say it like
fact,
that. They'll
right?
say it more
Give
fucking
him a benefit of the doubt for a second.
differently, more
But guess what?
professionally.
He would still lose at a case in the United States because the legal standard is higher. So
Yep.
with the U.S. Legal standard here, the likely result would be a case to be dismissed. Right?
Hey,
So,
would you look at that?
US claim-
I've been saying exactly that. They'll probably just dismiss the case. Why? Because he clearly is a part of this group, and because the laws are different here, then yeah, Ethan Klein is totally fucking within his rights to call him a terrorist because that's exactly what he is. A
It
terrorist.
would likely be dismissed either at motion to dismiss or at summary judgment. He would likely, if he brought the case and even had the money to bring the case, they would outright dismiss it, or it would get the summary judgment. They'd say, look, you don't meet the bar you don't meet the level.
He'd probably to fucking afford the case, he'd probably have to sell that AK that he was fucking that he had in his hand there.
Level of malice. You really can't prove that Ethan Klein is being malicious and he's lying completely about this.
Is
Yeah.
this a guy who's
Out
just
there that you are
pretending to be a
definitively not
terrorist for
member of a
clout,
terrorist group,
and then gets
because at
upset
this
when people
point,
call him a
what
terrorist?
It seems like is he is
More than
Guys,
anything.
I'm not a
His
terrorist.
grift,
I'm just a
the
terrorist
quote-unquote
supporter and a
hot
terrorist
pirate,
glorifier.
is grifting
How
off
dare
being
you?
I like how he's just speaking over it. But yeah, like Legal Mindset's saying, if you're actually paying attention to what he's saying, this individual here that's trying to sue Ethan, he is indeed a grifter. He's grifting through the fucking guise of being a terrorist for internet clout, just like what Hassan does. And it's fucking insane, dude. That you can have that he actually thinks he's gonna win. That's fucking. You have to be some new age level of delusional to think that you're gonna win when you're quite literally grifting as a terrorist on social media. And how are you going to be able to prove that in a court of law where you quite literally are associating with these individuals that are classified by our government as a terrorist organization? He's not going to win, and they're going to just dismiss the case.
Call me a
sexy
terrorist.
and
What?
trying to make terrorism sexy. And if that is what he is marketing himself as, then people would not be mistaken to take himself as a terrorist. So if he's marketing himself as a terrorist, as you know, the kind of bad boy terrorist, the hot bad boy terrorist,
Absolutely.
the rebel who's fighting
Yeah,
back.
that's exactly
if
what he's
people
doing.
Interpret you as you market yourself.
Yeah.
That's not malicious. Now it may be all a game. It may be all LARPing. In fact, I think it is. I mean, this individual looks kind of soft. I think there's reason to believe that he's not actually a terrorist. He's not actually like a hardened guy. You know, he's out there watching One Piece. You know, he's probably like some, Yemeni weeb, whatever, right? He just wanted to cosplay as a terrorist, right? That would be a
He saw the things going on in Indonesia where they're using the One Piece flags to fight the government, and he was like, "Oh, I could do that. I could pretend to be that." And he's portraying himself in a way where people will associate him with terrorism and believe that he's a terrorist because of the way he's portraying himself online. And you can't really get angry when people perceive you this way when that is quite literally the image you are putting out to the public.
reasonable
You just can't.
alternative explanation. But guess what? You've marketed yourself as that. You put yourself out as that.
That'd be like me getting fucking salty that people refer to me as a fucking femboy when my model's a femboy, and I quite literally have stated on stream that, you know what, fuck it, I'm just embracing the femboy shit. Like, it'd be stupid if I came back like fucking 2 months later and everyone's like, oh, we love you, Levy, you're our favorite femboy fucking VTuber, and I'm like, bro, stop calling me a femboy, I'm not a femboy, stop it, like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, it would be stupid and it makes no sense.
He has obviously posed as one of the three: a terrorist supporter, or a terrorist glorifier. And if you are doing any of those three things and someone calls you a terrorist, you have no grounds to get upset. And
Yep.
that's the truth. Now, you can, but you will just be a little bitch who gets upset when people call you what you are.
Yeah,
So it's hard
And what a strange thing to glorify.
to put that
Yeah.
back in the box.
you made your bed, now you have to lay in it. You can't fucking complain about having to lay in your bed that you made when you're the one who made it in such a way.
Now, the one thing that could happen, and this is going over to Yemen, is he could get an unenforceable Yemeni judgment or a local tribal court ruling. So in Yemen, there's, as in many countries, it's very, very common, right? There's often customary law, what's called customary law of dispute resolution, meaning the centralized legal system is weak, and that exists in many countries all over the world. Therefore, the customs that are applicable, the local customs, the local ways of life, they can be types of rulings. But getting some local tribal ruling in Yemen is not going to be enforceable in a U.S. court. They're going to laugh at that and toss it out. It's just not going to work. So as much as he might have that,
they're going to laugh at it and toss it out, just like people are laughing at, just like when people laughed at the UK stating that the UK was going to start enforcing their laws over here in America, and they were going to start arresting people in America for memes and stuff that they were saying about the UK. It's like, bro, what? Okay, you and what army is going to enforce your laws over here? Type shit. Like, they're just going to laugh at this. Just like they laughed at the UK when they stated that.
Tribal yokel, that's not...
Local tribal yokel.
For some extra context. He's literally on a stolen, hijacked ship by the Houthis, waving a fucking flag.
Yeah.
He takes a photo with the boat. He gets on the fucking boat. He's upset because he's posing at a terrorist, or he is a terrorist. Pick one. They're both fucking horrible. You cannot get upset when you're wearing a fucking... All I'm saying is, if you're wearing a white hooded sheet over yourself with 2 eyes cut out in front of your eyes,
he's doing
and you're
this,
cosplaying a ghost, you can't get upset when people think that you're a member of the KKK. Because that's what you look like. Now, you may not be aware that you look like that, but...
You know what that example reminds me of? That reminds me of the South Park episode where Cartman actually went as a ghost that his mom made the costume. No, he went as Hitler. Hitler to the school, and the fucking principal changed him into like a quote-unquote ghost, but the ghost had a pointed top. So he quite literally looked like someone from the KKK. That's what that reminded me of, his example.
For setting people's expectations to be what you're presenting yourself as.
Not going to work in the United States or any big boy country with real legal systems. So that said, likely a social media stunt for attention due to lawsuits trending. What he sees
the zombie
right now,
episode, the zombie episode.
He's trying to hijack the headlines. Right now, lawsuits are hot. The Klein lawsuit is big, and he wants to clout jack off of that, get back in the algorithm, get trending again, and get attention for his...
Oh, and then Chef saw Cartman and screamed and ran away. Yeah, like he literally looks like a Clan member, so Chef assumed that he was a fucking dressed as a Clan member, and he like fucked right off. Let's not forget, when they go down the line, they go towards Get Candy, and then they visit an actual Clan meeting. They knock on the door and an actual Clan meeting is happening, and they gave Cartman a fucking cross to burn. Like, bro.
Causes. And you know what? I understand it. I can't even...
The same shit can be applied here. Like, you're cosplaying as this thing. You can't get offended when people associate you with said thing.
I can't even blame people for trying to hijack the algo. However, I can blame them for making up nonsense lawsuits, and this is absolutely a nonsense lawsuit that will go absolutely nowhere. Let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, it's like a guy.
It's quite literally a clout chasing.
Pointy hats. I'm a ghost, not part of the KKK, but I do kind of think it's cool. And
never change. South Park never change. Unfortunately, it did slightly change, and you can feel it. But yeah, you know what this also reminds me of? Who here has seen Scary Movie 3? Scary Movie 3, they obviously parody, 8 Mile, that movie that Eminem was in. And what happens in Scary Movie 3 when he wins the rap battle, he puts on his hood, and it's obviously a very exaggerated fucking pointed top, and all these black people think that he's part of the KKK, so they kick his ass out. Same fucking thing. Same thing.
I support them 10 toes down. But guys, I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost. Why is everybody calling me a member of the KKK? It's like, well, if you look like one,
and
you sound like one,
and
you really like them, you really shouldn't be surprised when people start thinking that you are one. It's not our fault that you
Yep.
present yourself that way.
After he won the rap battle too. Yeah, after he won the rap battle. But yeah, this lawsuit's very obviously gonna go nowhere. Based on the thumbnail, I thought that because this is the thumbnail, I genuinely thought that there was gonna be some like Hassan input here as well, but there wasn't. So yeah, but yeah, like it's so stupid, man. They genuinely think he genuinely thinks that he has grounds. No, 100% he doesn't have any grounds for the lawsuit whatsoever. And you can very tell that this is obviously for internet points, you know, to score points with a certain group. That obvious the defenders of Frogan, Casey Tron, and Denim, like he thinks that this is gonna like boost his views or some shit and get him new followers. And honestly, I'd say, why do you want people like that following you and being in your circle? But let's be real, those are the exact people he's targeting and he's marketing. And it's fucking like it's stupid, man. It's just very stupid.